Good morning, class. This is Jennifer with Clear Path Intuition. Thank you for joining my video. Today I'm going to talk about something that is weighing very heavy on me to share, because that is what we are here for, is to experience and share our experiences in order to help others. So if you don't know much about me, I am a psychic medium, clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant. I hear dead people. Well, I'm able to connect to those that have, transitioned back to where we're originally from. So today I'm going to talk about spiritual warfare. Okay. Excuse me. I am going to go ahead and say that the information that I'm going to share today is not up for debate. I believe everything I say 100%. And if you don't like the information, you don't have to take it. But I feel like it would behoove anyone to listen to this message. Okay, let's get started on my way to work, because I got it like that. Spiritual warfare. Now, when I used to sit in church or, hear anyone talk about spiritual warfare, I used to imagine, like the angels were going to come down out of the skies, and, the demons were going to come up from hell, and there's going to be a big, like war, here on earth. No. Not quite like that, but not so dramatic, but sort of. So let's go ahead and say that energy. Everything is about energy and vibration. Okay? So nothing and no one is separated energetically. And everything and everyone, even a blade of grass, a kitchen chair, a table, a dog, us, everything puts off an energetic vibration or a frequency. So with that being said, you all have heard, everybody say, send me good vibes, sending you good vibes. It's not a hippie, it doesn't come from, hippies, it's not about that, because this is the thing. The law of attraction, now we're getting into science, okay? So the law of attraction states that everything and everyone puts off an energetic vibration or a frequency. And the frequency that you emit, the frequency that you put out, is what you attract back to you of equal measure. So the law of attraction. If you're putting out negative shit, you're going to attract negative shit. If you are operating in a low vibration, you're not taking care of yourself. Your negative self-talk is one of the worst things you can do. That's why it's so important to find the silver lining in everything. I'm just going to go ahead and say this too. Everything comes from something, and nothing is by coincidence. I'm going to say that again. Everything comes from something, and nothing is by coincidence. Okay? So let's just hold on to that statement, or those two statements there, and let's just say that those statements are 100% true. No disputing it. Okay? Let's just assume that for the rest of this conversation. So, with that being said, let's talk about when we were kids and we used to watch Looney Tunes, and you had, the cartoons where, they had the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other. Okay? And in the cartoon characters fight, which one should they do? Should they do this? And you have the devil saying, do this, and you have the angel saying, now don't do that. Everything comes from something. So when a person, most mediums, most people that hear, when they, can hear spirit, we hear in what we consider to be our own voice, our inside voice, like the voice that you hear when you're talking to yourself, like when you're going over your grocery list. Today I really need to pick up this, I need to pick up that, I need to do this. That voice that you perceive to hear as yourself, that's how most of us hear. That's why for the longest time I didn't know, because I had not handed over all those worries to God as they say to do, and this was pre that, so I had all this jumble in my head all the time, blah 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 blah. But when I finally handed all those worries over to God, as they say, hand those shit over, and God grants you the serenity to accept the things you cannot change, the ability to change the things that you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is not just a cliche for Alcoholics Anonymous. These little sayings are the instructions, I feel, and the staples to life. So whoever, whatever a-hole wrote these things off as cliche, kick them in the fucking shin, for God's sakes, because all these little sayings are truly the instructions to life. So let's get back to what spiritual warfare is. With everything that I just told you, spiritual warfare is a battle that is fought energetically and mostly through the subconscious. Okay, the subconscious mind. So, So that's why we don't know, that we're fighting these battles, but we fight these battles every day. The difference is with the information that I'm going to provide you today, how are you going to fight these battles in the future? Because let's talk about the devil. Now, if you sit in church at all, I know that most of us believe in something, but we have a hard time with wrapping our brains around exactly what we believe in. Well, there is something beyond, okay? We have to remember that we are not a human with a energetic divine soul. We are a soul that has been placed into a temporary human body, a temporary meat suit, a muggle suit, if you will, for this experience. And so when our body gives out for whatever reason, our soul releases from the body and transitions back to where we came from. And we live in a very large, vast universe, okay? So it would be very naive, very naive, and very in the box to think that, it's one of those stomach hills, to think that we are the only things here. So, hello. That's just very, we're just the only thing here in this universe. It's just, that's just very self-centered. Come on. Let's get with it. You remember Men in Black, where at the very end, like when the credits come on and the earth, turns out to be a marble that these monsters on another planet, or that these beings on another planet is playing marbles with. Well, let's just say this. You can believe half of what you read, see, and hear. Okay? Now the other half, which one's true and what's not? Okay? Well, this is the thing about that. You have to take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If the information that you hear resonates with your soul, take it. If it does not, leave it. But you can't really judge any information that you hear as true or false, because us have really no definitive proof or basis to make such judgment. Okay? We have nothing to base that judgment upon, because we don't know for sure. There's no one that does. So we have to leave everything open to endless possibility. Hear that? We have to leave everything open to endless possibility, because we really don't have a basis to form a judgment, to judge anything as right or wrong. And this is another thing that I know. And this all plays out. So this is all information that's going to round back in. So another thing that I know is there is no such thing as right or wrong. Because you can have two people, okay, that have two separate opinions. Let's just say about the president, okay? This is going to be easy. So two different people have two completely different opinions about the president. Neither one of them is wrong. Hear that? Neither opinion is incorrect, because the opinion or the feelings that a person has about the president is their own, based on their background, based on how, they were raised, how they see things, how, the world has affected them, because we are all on our own individual journey. So I'm a person that I'm able to let another person have their opinion, and I'm not going to sit there and tell them they're wrong, because first of all, how do you fucking know? Based on their perspective, they're probably absolutely right. Well, they are. And your opinion is the complete opposite, but you're not wrong either, because your opinion about the president is absolutely right based upon your perspective and your journey. Yeah. Okay. So, in other words, stop fucking judging people and thinking that, your opinion's right about everything, because you're not. I mean, you are, but you have no right to tell another person that they're right or wrong, because how do you fucking know? Because your daddy told you? Well, who said, he was right, Your daddy for him told him? Who said they were right, Just like racism. It completely astonishes me how people are still so racist when, what really right does anyone have to judge other people based on their skin color? Okay, so these people are, so people are the N-word, which I don't use, because their skin is black, but yet, you have a family wreath, and everybody's inbred, and but you're the dominant race. Sounds like some inbred logic to me, really and truly. I never even understood why we even have borders, like between Mexico and Canada. It's all connected land, Yeah. Just think of what would happen if we all worked together. Oh, wow. Got a great picture of a very harmonious way of living. So, let's move on. Moving on. If you sit in church and you believe in Jesus and you praise Jesus and you know, which I do, Jesus is my Savior. Jesus is one of our ascended masters. He was a person that had a beautiful heart, and he truly wanted to help people. He was clairvoyant. He was also very psychically inclined, and, you know, he did Reiki energy healing, as, you know, I'm a Reiki master as well. You know, that's how the healing and stuff, you know, it's energy. So, just like when baby gets a boo-boo and they come crying to mom, you know, they crying, and mom, oh, come here, let me kiss it. Mom kisses it, and then baby just dries up their tears and they're fine and they go on about their day. Because mother passed her loving energy to baby. So everything's about energy. If you believe in anything that's good in this world, if you believe in angels, you know, if you believe in our guardian angels, you believe in, you know, God, Jesus, you know, whoever you think God is, our creator, spirit, I, for one, believe that we all carry the energy of God, and we all carry Jesus' energy, and it's all about energy, okay? So, if you believe in anything that's good, then that means you have to the polarity, because what goes up must come down, off and on, light and dark. You get it. You have to believe in the stuff that's evil, bad, things that come of the dark. So, there are most definitely angels working for us at all times, staying with us, guiding us, giving us ideas, aha moments. Just like the angel on one shoulder trying to tell you, you know, trying to lead you in the right direction. Then you have, to its polarity, the polar energy of the dark, the evil, the devil. That's on the other shoulder going, no, go ahead and do it, or, you know, nobody really cares about you. You know, you're worthless anyway. You haven't really amounted to anything. Just go hang yourself up by in a tree and just get it over with. Go ahead and jump off of a bridge and be done. You know, these thoughts and these things that we think, when people get those ideas, the bad ones, to do stuff that's harmful to ourselves or others, are not our ideas. Because I know this, because I hear spirit in what I consider to be my voice. So people are perceiving the devil on their one shoulder talking to them as themselves, and it's not. Okay, so that's the first illusion that I'm going to point out, is that the devil on the one shoulder, the angel on the other. Imagine that's absolutely true, because like I said, I hear in what I perceive to be my voice. So when we hear spirit, either one, we hear in our voice. So that's why it's very important to hand over everything that no longer serves you, and to release everything, and to clear out all the jumble in your head, so you can be mindful of what your thoughts are and which ones are not. That's the difference between me and many of you that don't follow their intuition and don't hear, because who's to say that you can't? I feel like we were all blessed with these God-given abilities. It's just that a lot of us are not aware. You're just a Bill or a Karen sorry, Bills and Karens, but you're just a Bill and Karen of the world, just living in this 3D world and just going on about your day and what the neighbors, how many dandelions the neighbor has in their yard compared to yours, and how they need, they need to mow their grass. And when I'm over here and I'm fighting demons and shit every day. Okay? So, the problem here is that we're having with this battle is that this is the problem with most of you. Even all of you that sit in church every Sunday. Okay? And I'm not saying anything rude, but this is the problem with most of you, is that even though you want to, you all really want to believe in everything that they're saying. Most of you truly can't, because most of you cannot believe in something you have not seen. But isn't that the definition of faith? Believing in the unseen and having faith that it's real. Right? Okay. But really and truly, most of you do not truly believe, because, and it's not your fault, it's just the way the human brain is programmed. I believe I'll get into that other story. Sorry, I'm trying to dry my hair on my way to work, if I didn't say this before. Most of you truly cannot believe in what you have not seen. You want to believe, but really, when it comes down to it, you can't. That's why when people start talking about, I'll take a post and I'll post a selfie and I'll get 40 likes on it, and then I'll post something to talk about, something spiritual or religious or whatever, and it'll get 5. See the difference? Because nobody really takes it seriously, because really and truly, you don't really believe. So with that information, the devil, which the dark forces, the dark energy, the devil energy, is absolutely real. If you have good energy, you have bad energy. So the devil, even though he had been banished from this earthly plane, and because he's energy and not an actual person that's of the flesh and bone like we are, he has been banished from this earthly plane. He cannot enter it, but he found the loophole. The loophole for him to come in and infiltrate, sabotage, do everything that he does, keep you from being the person you were meant to be, is through the human mind. So, I'm going to repeat that. Even though the devil has been banished from this earthly plane, he has found the loophole. And the loophole is through the minds of humans, which is energetic information. Okay? Thoughts, everything. Imagine radio waves, psychic information from other realms, from other dimensions. All of these things ride on radio waves or, energetic frequencies. So it's just some can tune in to them. Some are still too much in their ego, in their mind. They're too much into everything. The ego is that high horse that everybody is going to fall off of one day. That ego is everything you think you know. Okay? So that's why these days I really try to keep mine pony-sized, because it hurt like hell when I fell off of mine. We have to have a certain amount of it, but yeah, that was a hard fall. But a necessary fall, to say the least. I'm grateful. Much wiser for it. Much more appreciative. So, I like me. So spiritual warfare is, to recap, fought energetically and mostly through the subconscious. And the devil, his playing ground is in our minds with what we think as our thoughts, because like the cartoon with the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other, and the fact that I've told you that when most of us we hear spirit and what we perceive to be our voice, the one that, we hear when we're talking to ourselves, our inside voice. So that's why most of you don't know it. That's why I didn't know for a long time, for a very long time. So that's why it is very important to hand those worries over to God, as they say, and ask for God to grant you that serenity to accept the things that you cannot change. Stop trying to overthink and control things. Just accept things as they are. The strength, to God grant me strength to accept the things I cannot change. The strength to change the things that you can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's why it's very important to follow these instructions so that you can rid your mind of all the jumble, the worries, the unnecessary control, because that's what worries are. When we worry, that means we're trying to control a situation or things, happenings. So, and there's no way to do that. And first of all, and another thing is, when you're trying to control everything and you're worrying and trying to control the outcome of everything, you're pretty much telling God or the universe or spirit that you know better than the universe. And pretty much, you're thwarting divine timing, the process. You're interfering. So stop doing it. It's not going to change anything. And don't you notice that the outcome usually, whether you see it at that moment or not, usually everything always takes care of itself in some way. And usually it's always turns out better and in your greatest good from how you were trying to worry and control things to turn out anyway. So your worry was unnecessary. That bill's going to take care of itself. And understand that each individual is on their own path, their own journey. Each person is here to have their individual experience, to learn their individual lessons. So you worrying about everything that they're doing and trying to control the outcome, you are interfering in their lessons. You are delaying them. You're changing their course. So stop. Even though we may be together with someone else as a couple, each person is still on their individual, is here to learn their individual lessons. And let me tell you, that person is going to keep showing up. That pattern is going to keep presenting itself. But each time it's going to get worse and worse until you learn it. So with energy, when we understand that everything happens for a reason, everything has a polarity, and stop thinking of things as good or bad, and they just are, might not be the way that, you feel is beneficial to you or in the way that you like. But when we just accept things as they just are and stop thinking of things as good or bad, then that allows us to just do elbow kinks. Life, is not a straight path. It's elbow kinks. It's experiences, kind of like when I would sneak out when I was a kid. First time everything went great. Second time we snuck out, so-and-so picked us up and we went cruising down in the holler and we smoked weed and we got really stoned, and then the whole wheel fell off of his truck and we were stuck out in BFE, and this is before they had phones, and then we had to go knock on somebody's door at 1:00 in the morning and call somebody else to come pick us up, and we finally made it back and we got in the house and we made it in undetected, and but then we did it again. And the third time, my mom called and made her mom go upstairs, and we weren't there. We got busted. And then my mom came and picked us up, and, I got in trouble, and she's like, "Why is your eyes so red?" And I'm like, "'Cause I've been crying." And, but yeah. And that time it didn't go so well. And I got grounded for a month, but then we did it again, so, and everything went well that time. But, life is the same way, with all of the experiences. So, I'm going to continue this message with another video. So we're talking about spiritual warfare. And today, just to recap, we talked about energy. We talked about vibrations. We talked about what spiritual warfare is, how it's fought, and that confirmation that there is life beyond this 3D plane. So take all the information that you got from me today, let it sink in, roll it around, reach out to me if you have any questions. Like I said, I am not here to debate the information at all that I'm giving you. If you don't feel that I'm correct, then don't take the information that I'm giving you. I absolutely 100% believe everything that I am saying. So if I didn't believe what I was saying to be 100% true, I wouldn't say it. So again, whether you agree or not, we're just, if you don't. But I'm going to ask you this. I may not agree with it, but maybe it would be worth your time to consider everything that I'm saying as possibly true. Because what if I am right? Food for thought. Okay. You guys have a great day. I gotta go clock in. We will continue this in another video session. Bye.